Salute, salute, mic check, 1 2 1 2. Salutes, we are back. Make sure y'all hit that like button for us, family. Please like, share, and subscribe. Support the channel. We are back for our Sunday sit down with Key Norful. I do want to speak about the FBA agenda. There's so much FBA talk right now that we do got to cover the situation. Make sure y'all hit that like button for us. Please like, share, and subscribe. Support the channel. Now, I've done FBA videos. I done my video on FBA. I did my video on FBA a couple of weeks back. I've stated my stance on FBA on several different occasions. Shout out to Bro Sanchez, who's been covering the FBA, content. Shout out to everybody. I want to make myself clear when it comes to this whole FBA thing, because I have my own reasoning, and we're going to get into that. My standpoint when it comes to the FBA agenda, I know there's a lot of talk of we need to come together. We need to have some type of standpoint when it comes to dealing with politics. That's one of the main reasons that I've heard about this whole FBA agenda. My stance with the FBA agenda is there's a whole lot of FBA versus Pan-Africanism. There's a whole bunch of Pan-Africanism versus FBA. But when I did my research with FBA only considerably ties us back to Africa. And with me knowing my family history, I personally don't want to be tied to anything that ties me back to Africa. Anything that ties me back to Africa. I don't want to undercut anyone for having their stance when it comes to FBA. If having a stance with FBA is going to, solidify any type of movement, I want to give more power to the movement. But I also have my stance for my own particular reasons. There's so many content creators right now that are making anti-FBA content. Now, we can't get it confused that it's a Pan-African versus FBA thing that's going on. That's what's confusing me. What's confusing me is, why is there a Pan-Africanism versus FBA, and why is there FBA versus Pan-Africanism when FBA connects itself to Pan-Africanism in the first place? I see PSYOP. I call bullshit. See, one thing when it comes to Black culture in America, we've been subject to projects for so long that it's made our people blind to the fact that we're so blind, and we're following other blind people all the time. That's the Black culture cult effect. We continue to be subject to this Black culture cult effect time after time again, because we're trauma bonding. It's like relationships. How can you have a healthy relationship when it's a bond out of trauma? These projects that are being put forth by who? The powers that be. It's just like black culture. We attach ourselves to culture that we only consider culture because of the trauma that we went through. Look at black culture. Black cultures manifested out of what? Slavery movement, hip hop, our position in the country. We only got this bit of leeway. So we got to bond with each other because of this is all we got. So it forces us in a box. And once again, we're choosing what? The lesser of evils that we could choose from. And I just don't see any respect, any real respect, until we're not choosing the lesser evil. I don't want to get it confused. And I'm not anti-FBA. I'm not even anti-Pan-Africanism. I just don't want nothing to do with the shit. It's messy. There's a bunch of messy shit going on. There's a lot of division. There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of mind fuckery going on. So I want to make it clear, I'm not anti-FBA. There's a parade. I don't want to piss on anybody's parade. I don't want to be a part of it either because it's a pride parade. You get me? They're continuously putting us in a box to where we are falling in love with things that are detrimental to us. They got us with Obama. The whole country, all black people thought it was over. Thought Martin Luther King's dream was motherfucking finally coming to life. What happened? Duped again. And so when I see rips and tears through the fabric of a thing, you know, I just hate to be singled out. And shout out to everybody, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button for us. You know, I received so many emails about this whole FBA thing. You know, there's a lot of confusion going on. It's so much confusion to us to the point to where a lot of people think if you're not FBA, then you must be a Pan-African. When FBA itself ties itself back to Pan-Africanism. So is there a division between Egyptology, Pan-Africanism, and FBA? Or is this shit all tied together? It's putting us in a mind frame to where we're thinking a certain type of way. Is this thing for reparations? And are we not going to get reparations when there's more, when there's no stability to the table? Let's get up. Let's move this table and let's just get one till we ain't got to keep putting phone books and shit under the leg that ain't long enough. This system is not broken. We say that about politics all the time. We say the system is not broken. We got to fight the system. Well, why are we steady trying to make adjustments to a system that's not broke? The system's working motherfucking fine. The system is working the exact way that it was designed to work. The only way to win the game is to not play the game. And we had this platinum plan, like I mentioned. We had this platinum plan that Ice Cube came up with. Well, he was in direct talks. He was right there. It was right there in the beginning. And there was no Africa tied into this thing. So we come back with a whole nother plan called FBA, spearheaded by Tariq Nasheed, that has an anchor of Pan-Africanism tied to it. It just don't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me to already be so far behind and to have a possibility that if I do make a step forward, I'm going to end up having to take 2 to 3 steps back. And we continue to get into this cycle of things. We're in this cycle of things because they're making us fall in love with things that are detrimental to our people. We're developing a mindset for the situation at hand. We're adopting ideologies without thinking clearly. That's called the blind leading the blind. So if it's not organized, then why should we move to something that's unorganized? If we know it's unorganized, let's organize it and then get it together. Let's detach from this African thing in the first place, because we have aboriginals who saying fuck FBA because it's tied to Africanism. Then we got FBA members who saying fuck Pan-Africanism, and then fuck everybody who not with FBA. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I'm thinking it's about making dollars. It's not about making sense. It's about making dollars. That's all. The pushback is not for Pan-Africanism. The pushback is not for politics. The pushback is because there's rips in the fabric. It's a hole in the cup. I can't hold up a cup that got a hole in it. I'm getting wet while I'm trying to hold this cup up. That means we need to change. We need to change this up. What's wrong with taking our time to fix the holes? Because if it's not about a vote, then it's about, hey, if don't nobody go out and vote, they can't make no fake numbers. So what we're really saying is, let's devise a system. Let's devise a group to where we're going to come together. We're going to go and vote, and we're not going to get anything with these votes, but we're going to do this and not get anything so that we can show everybody. I don't think this was thought all the way through, dog. Oh, come on, dog. Come on, man. We've been through this shit time and time and time again. They got our people in a position to where we just want to try what we can. But when we're trying with what we got on the table, when we're working with what we got on the table, we're not realizing that what's on the table was put on the table for us to use. It's to the point to where they don't even have to do anything to us anymore. There's a black culture code effect that's taking place to where now we're hindering ourselves. Like the tie-in I made with the music. We think that's our culture. We don't know that these things have been systematically put in place before us for us to choose. If I put 2 juices on a table, or if I put milk and orange juice on the table and give a person a choice, it's going to take someone to have to think outside of the box and say, well, I don't want neither one of these, man. Could I have some water? A person might say, well, I don't like milk, so let me just take the orange juice. That's what's happening with us right now. I think that's very dangerous. See, when you don't know what to do, don't do nothing. This is the same situation with the religion. So we go hard at religion when religion is doing the same thing. They did the same thing when they were sending the troops to all these different cities. They weighed in on everybody's feelings and they said, Well, don't you want us to clean up crime? Don't you want to be able to let your kids play outside without ducking bullets? And then soon as we said yeah and signed off on this shit, they came in and they started doing what the fuck they wanted to do. It was never about what we wanted in the first place. Why must we keep going through this same loopholes over and over again? That's us being on a merry-go-round. If we stay on that motherfucker too long before we even be able to get up and get us something to eat, we ain't gonna have shit to throw up. We just gonna be sick. The same trick with Obama. And then there's talking points being used that don't got shit to do with what's going on. There's talking points being used that don't got shit to do with why we shouldn't do it. FBA is anti-Pan-Africanism, all the while being tied to Africa. Make it make sense. No one's saying black people shouldn't get together. I agree black people should get together. I agree black people need an economic floor. But I also agree that we need to strategize this shit a little bit better. I also agree that we need to decipher right now before there's a big fight at the end. Because Aboriginal or indigenous people of this land are upset about the African shit. This is where there's pushback. We should be able to have a mind frame to where we could be able to set precedents and have clarity before we move forward. That's moving careful. We want to protect our energy at the same time. Even though we know that there's nothing that we can do to stop the powers that be from pushing their new world order agenda. They just gonna pull us along any fucking way. They're just not gonna give us reparations and shit any motherfucking way. They came over here, they took this shit by force. You think they just gonna turn around and even out the playing fields? That'll fuck the game up. That'll throw them out of the game. Why do you think they oppressing our people in the first motherfucking place? Because they know they need an advantage to beat us. They got to cheat us to beat us. Why would they even a playing field if they know they got to cheat us to beat us? Make it make sense. So I think a lot of our people are not grasping the concepts. Being able to read something and comprehending something is two different things. Ain't nobody asked you if you can read, nigga. I'm asking you, can you comprehend what you read? Can you see through the shit? Right? You should be able to see what's in front of you, but could you see what's behind that? These are the type of people that we need as leaders. We need so-called seers, someone who can be able to plan and develop for down the road. What we're dealing with is organizers. An organizer and a leader is two different roles. This is what we're dealing with. So in my mind, it would be better for us if we can plan, plot, strategize, and move a little bit better, because we got a lot of infighting going on. Right now, I just saw 2 streams fired up about this FBA shit. And like I said, the only thing that made me pull back was when I saw that they were serious about the tying in of Africa. I said, whoa, wait a minute. So here it is, 2025. So if 100 Africans came here, they got 2 dates throughout there, right? So say if it was 1526 or if it was 1619, it don't fucking matter. It ain't that far apart. Pick one. So if it was 1526, that's even worse. Because how many Africans do you think that those 100 Africans turned into today? This ties right back into the out of Africa theory. 100 Africans back then, man, that's millions of Africans today. I don't even think I think the only millions of Africans that ever been over here was the fucking Africans that came over here on a green card, man. It's a bunch of confusing. It's a bunch of double talk happening. Even the Pan-Africans who are against FBA are saying, well, I track my lineage all the way back to the mounds in America. So if you track your lineage all the way back to the mounds in America, then why the fuck is you talking about some Pan-Africanism? If you ain't never heard of none of your people, no tribe, no specific country, or nothing in Africa, what's tying you to Africa? Them fucking books that you've been reading? That's it. It can't be no more or nothing less. There's a bunch of confusion happening. We get caught up on the dumb shit. So now, this is why my main reason for not including myself with FBA. Because FBA will be divided into its own two wings. Listen to me clear. I'm going to say that again. FBA will be divided into its own two wings. There will be a left wing of FBA and there will be a right wing of FBA at the end of the day. These politicians are already moving that way. Long as we get the plane to the same destination, they don't give a fuck if half the niggas say, well, I'm sitting on this side of the plane, and the other niggas say, I'm sitting on this side of the plane. Okay, where's the destination going? Once again, we got to include Africa when it comes to us brothers over here in America. Why can't we just have love for our African brothers? Why can't we just have love for our Jamaican brothers? Why can't we just have love for our Haitian brothers, our Dominican brothers? Because I personally know that there's people with skin like mine all over the world, but we ain't talking about that shit right now. We talking about liberation for the nigga in America. That's what we talking about right now. Quit playing with me. Quit playing with my people. Stop the bullshit and the confusion. Why can't we be straight? Shoot straight. Give it to us straight. And I think a lot of our people are confused on what to do next. All the while the powers that be are keeping their agenda in place. We've already made our connections. If you go back and watch my FBA video, I made a lot of connections to the symbolism. Who else has a hand in this? It's all in the symbols, the signs and the symbols. But if we start to have our own perceptions of what's going on and not really trying to see, understand, and understand what's going on, and that's the same shit that's happening with religion. Now, I don't agree with our people pushing for Trump. I don't agree with our people pushing for the Democrats, Republican or Democrat. I think we should just sit the fuck down and leave all this shit alone. It should become the norm. There's a mass mind fucking that's going on in this country right now. The CIA is very intelligent. It's the Central Intelligence Agency. They know what they're doing. They have predictive programming. They know what you gonna do before they do what they do. They know how the fuck you gonna react. We don't see them, so we don't think they exist, but they're good at hiding in plain sight. The shit that we're doing is what they doing. They in the hip hop. They in the country conscious community. They're in the politics. And if we keep taking the bait, then it's not our fault. It's not their fault anymore. It's our fault. It's like the food we eat, right? I'm gonna give you an example. The food we eat is killing us, but they're not forcing us to eat the shit. We like the shit. Come on, let's be for real. We like the shit. We love it. We use an excuse for the holidays. The holidays just passed. So many people use the holidays to eat a bunch of bad food. We use the excuse that, right? I'm gonna show you how the mind plays tricks on. It's like the song made. It ain't somebody playing the trick on us. It's our fucking minds playing the trick on us. We all need to sing it. Everybody join in. Doom, 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 doom. My mind playing tricks on it. We all can sing that shit together because that's what's going on. But when we can't comprehend, and then when we let popularity and what we like lead our decision making skills, our decision making, excuse me, then this is the type of results we get. This what they know this shit. Exactly what I'm saying is true. And you know how I'm gonna prove to you what I'm saying is true? That's why they use entertainers for politics when it comes to us. Because they know that's how they know that's how we think. They know that's how we think. Okay? We've already showed to them, we've already proven to them that we think this way. Nothing's taken serious. We're opportunists. We're not thinking about the long haul. We're thinking about how things are going right now and how things gonna go next. We're not looking down the road to see how to see what we can accomplish. We're always waiting to see how things gonna be rather than working. We're waiting rather than working. We're riding behind some motherfuckers or waiting for something. We're doing shit, we're casting our line out and we're waiting rather than working for it. But once again, it's like not the people's fault, but it is the people's fault. I can't blame my brother if my brother come to me with a good idea and we just out of desperation say, fuck it, man, let's go do it. Come on, let's hit this lick. Then we get caught. We didn't think this shit out right. It sounded faulty already, but we didn't think it out right. Yeah, we didn't think this shit out right. So now we got to deal with, the repercussions of not thinking it out right. But think about doing this over and over and over again. We'll be in the same loop, the same loop as how we're in the loop with the presidents that we pick. We got smart ass niggas telling us why we should be voting for Trump. We had smart ass niggas telling us why we should have been voting for Kamala Harris. We had smart ass niggas. The whole world voted for Barack Obama, thinking that he was going under the guise of black pride. That's why I said it's another pride parade. We not getting this shit. We not seeing through this shit. We not understanding this shit. We ain't for real with this shit. And once we understand that there's some spiritual shit going on, and it ain't no political shit going on, because they can give a fuck about our political views. We shouldn't have but one political view. It's to liberate the people. That should be the only fucking political view that we should have. Because that's what's ailing us. We need liberation. We don't need to be under the illusion of inclusion, and we don't want to be to see the illusion of inclusion also consists of us thinking that we can make our own shit inside of a system that's broke. It's a burning house. So whether you have your own room in a burning house, it don't matter. You still need to get the fuck out. The whole house on fire, the whole house gonna burn down unless you got some special padding inside your motherfucking room. We gotta make it make sense. We gotta also allow people to make their own decisions, because until we able to come with one mind, it won't be one body. We got one body with different heads on it. So we got 2 or 3 headed monsters. And then once the 2 or 3 headed monsters slay everything and everybody else, then it's gonna fight itself. Cause they gotta look at them other heads that he's sharing a neck with. That was in disagreement before the battle even began. It's supposed to be about a destination. And you know, a lot of people don't like Tariq Nasheed. I don't like or dislike the brother. See, a lot of times you just gotta, you shouldn't be forced to choose a side when both sides is bullshit. Now, I'm gonna say one side on the shit, and the other side just ain't together yet. I don't think people should be voting for Republican, Democrat, and now I'm all with FBA. If FBA can tighten up a little strings, tighten up some strings. Because first of all, there's an inconsistency with banging on Pan-Africanism. It seemed like WWF wrestling and shit, right? When you sitting up here telling me you don't, it's like if you Bloods and Crips. I don't know no Bloods and Crips who are, if you in the same gang and a nigga steady coming to tell you about the Bloods and the Crips, and then they end up in cahoots with them. You see what I'm saying? You got to make it make sense. You got to make it make sense. And if it don't make sense, then how it's gonna make us dollars? In terms of, if it don't make sense, then how is it going to get us reparations? If it don't make sense, that's all I'm saying when it comes to it. But I don't want to piss on nobody parade. Like I'm saying, you know, shout out to the brothers, my FBA brothers. Shout out to my Pan-African brothers. But when it comes to the Pan-African shit, I gotta have disagreement with the Pan-Africans because they spewing a bunch of shit that we all came from Africa. We all derived from Africa. Both sides were opposing to the story that I have. It's just one a little bit more than the other. And I just see a little fuckery. It's some shit in the game. And I think we should be able to clean it up. I think we should be able to come together and clean that up. I think we got to have more talks like we had on Bro Sanchez the other night. Because I think that was a very powerful bill for everything to just be laid out on the table. I'm never going to tell somebody, nah, man, don't worry about it. Just do it. And, let's just see how it turn out. I would rather just go and tell people, man, don't do shit. That'll get their attention. Once they see, hey, man, ain't no black people doing nothing. They ain't trying to reform their own group. They ain't voting for our shit. They ain't doing nothing. Let's send them a message that we don't have no hope in the political system. Let's send them a message that politics don't have, it ain't what you do, it's how you do it. But at the same, if you're doing something, it don't matter what you do, it's how you do it. But when you ain't doing nothing, that's way more powerful. That's way more powerful. That's gonna cause a concern. So, my question is, can we form our own lineage? We're forming a lineage. This lineage is saying foundational Black Americans. Once again, we got this black, right? But that's neither here nor there. They consider us black. So let's take that. The first word is foundational. So the Aboriginal or indigenous people of this land is saying, fuck yeah, foundational. That's what I'm talking about. They're taking the word foundational and they're running with it. All for the sake of running into a brick wall to sit down and scratch their head and say, damn, but it got African roots in it. Why include these 100 Africans? What's the point of that? What is the point of including these 100 Africans? Where did this come from? I'm seeing this on both sides of the fence. I'm seeing this from the Pan-Africans, just like the Professor Smalls guy, who said he can go back to his ancestral graves in America. Okay, well, where the African shit come from? Just like Tariq rounding up the indigenous and the Aboriginal people of America, just to go back to a premise point of saying, but there was these 100 Africans who was brought over here. Nigga, you bullshitting with me. Quit playing with me, man. Why would you even do that? When you know the whole thing of we saying we foundational because we saying we came from America. That's the whole point we playing. Quit playing with me. That's enough to get upset about. No one wants to be played with. We already know that we're not experts. We're dealing with a system. We shouldn't want to be experts when it comes to a system that's not for us. The system is not broke. Anything I'm doing, I always ask a person, okay, that's cool. I see that what we doing right now. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, now before I make my final decision, what's the end game, bro? Well, let's just do this for now. Let's just see. Well, hell no, man. Because ain't no end game, that mean we ain't done planning yet. Organizing, planning, leadership, all that shit is three different things. We gotta understand that first. And all I see right now, if y'all get a chance to check your YouTubes, I don't want to call out a bunch of people's names, but there's so many for the last few nights. There have been so many videos about FBA, either against FBA or for FBA. And just the whole concept of being for or against something, that just ring a bell in my head. It's bringing me right back to a whole nother. Now we gonna have our own political shit going on. Now we got our own two wings of the same bird going on. Anti-FBA and FBA. That's the new Democrat Republican shit. If somebody can educate me on it, I'm willing to learn. But like I said, I already wiped my hands with it, with no hard feelings and, nothing against anyone who's for or against it. Cause to me, it's bullshit. And you can't be mad at me because I say some shit bullshit to me. It might be something to you, but to me, it's bullshit. It's a waste of time to me. I value my time like you value your time. I'm still trying to see why can't we solidify ourselves as just indigenous Americans. See, if that shit was the indigenous foundation Americans, boy, it'd be on with no African ties to it. That'll be the shit. It wouldn't even have to be about reparations or none of that. And it's too many it may be's to it. It's too many maybes. We might get reparations, but we ain't gonna get reparations. It's for all the people from America, but this nigga paying African, like, it's just too many lines that's blurred. That's where the concept of this has to be some type of agenda being put down. And not by anyone in particular. I'm just saying maybe they don't know they're supporting an agenda. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt of that. Maybe they don't know that. There's some sort of distractions taking place here. Because now we got problems that's happening on a whole nother level. There's some digital ID shit going on right now. There's some rights taking type of shit going on right now. There's some new age slavery shit going on right now. Why you think all these troops ending up in all these different cities? Why you think these troops ain't doing what the fuck they said they was gonna do when the people signed off on them coming in the first place? There's a new world order agenda in place. And we bullshitting. Keep letting these motherfuckers move the goalposts on us. Saying one thing and doing another thing. That's why I don't trust shit when it got to come with this system. We still being overlooked. They don't give a fuck about us. They give a fuck about their agendas. They want to give us some other shit to focus on so they can keep doing what the fuck they doing. That's what's happening. That's what's going down. We got to be able to see that. It can't get no worse for us unless we put on another suit and keep playing the game. That's the only way it's going to get worse for us. We going to sleep again. We already sleep. Now we going to go to sleep again. That's going to make it harder to wake up. We should stop right here, right now, and retract from this point. Wait a minute. And switching the conversation to go back to this black culture thing, because I want people to know how the mind frame works. So I posted the black culture quote on my page. And shout out to Brother Nasir. I know that brother wants to join that conversation, so we will be doing that over the course of the next day or two, right? We can't comprehend things. We're looking for shit so surface level that we looking for trigger words and shit like that. We gotta grow up and get past that trigger word shit. When I posted the black culture quote, people saw people who wasn't black on the photo and said, "Bruh, just looking for likes and views. He got people up there who ain't even black." Don't you know the black culture code extends to people who ain't even black, dummy? The whole world is affected by the black culture code, dummy. Eminem is a product of the black culture cult. That's why I'm telling you it ain't your fucking culture. It was a fucking CIA operation that was put down upon the people. Now our kids running around with they fucking pants sagging, with these guns and shit, with their booty hanging out and shit, waiting on somebody to fuck them or step on their shoe so they can kill them. If you can't comprehend, nigga, this ain't no spelling bee or no reading contest. This some comprehension shit. This some big dog shit. You get out the way. Put a bunch of niggas in front of us who look appealing. A bunch of niggas who sound appealing to push their fucking agenda. The fucking reinvention of the wheel of the blind leading the fucking blind. And that shit make me sick. It's sick. It makes me sick to my stomach. I could vomit, nigga. There should be no argument about right now. This whole anti-FBA and FBA argument should be, hey, let's end all that. Now, people smart enough. There's enough tools. Hey, man, let's start doing your research. Let's start doing your genealogy. I'm telling you, I know where my people buried it. Look, follow the same shit. I ain't gonna charge you nothing. I ain't gotta make no special sit down and then let's do this shit. Figure out who you are. Or are we gonna come together and are we just gonna be, we either gonna be all black or fuck the bullshit? Because when the lines get blurred, is now I feel like this person feel like that. Well, when we gonna get on one accord? We together, but not on one accord. It shouldn't be no fucking pan-African shit. It shouldn't be no anti-FBA or FBA saying fuck everybody and all that. If the agenda's for reparations, the fucking agenda should be for reparations. If the agenda's for black liberation, the agenda should be for black liberation. Period. We got to have a premise. We got to have a target. We shooting with no aim and we putting switches on the gun because we don't know how to fucking shoot. That's dangerous. Now you see the mind frame that it builds to and how that shit connect to everything what's going on. They've been putting together projects. They even named the projects, the housing projects. So people trauma bonded. People got histories of drugs in their family because of the crack cocaine that was put inside of these neighborhoods. People are trauma bonded over the slavery narrative that was put out. All of these things develop black culture. When it comes to hip hop, that was a CIA operation because now, see, art used to imitate life. Now they got us on this AI kick where life is imitating the art, and that's dangerous because therefore they can just insert into the art what they want the people to follow now. Everybody shouldn't be talking. Our entertainers are not leaders. If we gonna be together, we need to learn how to work together. And it shouldn't be force fed. It should come natural. It's gonna resonate with you. It should resonate. We need mental liberation. We need physical liberation. And more important of all, we need spiritual liberation. We got to stop just doing shit just to be doing shit. Because then we start to contradict ourselves. And in any case, when anyone is contradicting themselves, that means they don't know what the fuck they doing or what the fuck they're talking about. If you got love for the people, it's going to be about the people. Nothing more, nothing less. That's what we got to get to, my people. We got to get to the point to where we're on the same page so that we can move forward. We got to set some aside for us. Every time we come to set some aside for us, it get infiltrated. What about the nigga in America? Why can't we be solidified? Why can't we solidify ourselves? Solidifying ourselves doesn't mean hate for the African. Solidifying ourselves doesn't mean hate for the Haitian. Solidifying ourselves doesn't mean hate for the Jamaican. Every time we come and try to solidify ourselves, it's a problem. We got to share our liberation with someone else. It's Africans who coming over here today. So if it makes sense for FBA to include the 100 Africans that came in 1526 or 1619, it don't matter, nigga, pick one. So why are you beefing with the Africans that's coming over this motherfucker now? That shit don't make sense to me. Somebody playing some games. And the real ones want answers. It can't get no worse. They fucking with the weather. They fucking up the air that we breathe. They fucking up the water. They screen printing the food, giving us fake food. We got to worry about these people invading our privacy and tracking us 24/7 and finding a way to put this fucking vaccine inside of our food and shit. Trying to get this nanotechnology inside of us. That's what the fuck's going on right now. Everything else is irrelevant. A fucking distraction. We passed that point. We already know this political shit wasn't made for us. We already know this political shit ain't gonna work. So why the fuck is we steady sitting up here touching the stove when we know it's hot? And that's how I feel about the shit. You did. Shout out to everybody, man. Now, I do want to give the opportunity for if anyone wants to come up and speak on some of the things that I talked about. I would love to hear your viewpoint. I'll give it a few minutes. And after I give it a few minutes, I'll end it. But I am going to give a few to see if anybody want to come up, man, and, speak their mind on what's been said tonight. Salute to everybody. Much love and respect, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button for us, family. Please like, share, and subscribe. Support the channel. This is a Sunday sit down to where we just chopping it up, man. We just having a regular conversation. This is what we do on Sundays. So let me drop this link. Shout out to my brother Big Dog, Philly LG. Salute. I couldn't see the chat. Okay, here we go. I can see the chat now. Shout out to my brother Big Dog, Philly LG. My brother T Wriggle, salute. My brother Nino, salute. Salute to everybody, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. This is not an anti-FBA stream. I love the concept of FBA. What I don't love is the connection, the chain on my ankle to a damn African while my other brother that's chained up with me, my other brothers that's chained up with me is arguing about Africans. We changed to Africans. So what's up with this? There's some type of confusion taking place, man. We smarter than that. They say a lot of people don't like Tariq Nasheed. I don't like him nor dislike him. I think we got to make that normal. I think we got to make it normal to not like nor dislike a motherfucker sometimes. Just because you don't like something don't mean you got to dislike it. To be honest about the Tariq Nasheed shit, he's a capper. I know cappers. I know people within the secret order, OVOs and OTOs. Is that what it was? My brother T Wriggles, I don't know. Maybe you could put it in the chat for me. I don't really subscribe to a lot of secret organizations, but I know a lot of brothers do. And that's those brothers' business. But we ain't talking about individual business. We're talking about the people's business. We talking about what's gonna be good for the people. Ain't no personal shit involved with this. When we putting together a movement that's supposed to be for the betterment of the people, then that's what it's supposed to be about. That way we can see that there's no agenda-based situations taking place. And I did drop the link. You know, I will be talking about going more in depth on this black culture cult. You know, I had a couple people to comment. You know, I do a lot of things sometimes so I can just see where the minds of the people at. And people say, oh, you got people on the poster who not even black. You don't think Eminem was bit by the black culture vampire too? That's why I'm telling people, black culture ain't our culture. They made us this way. This is what the CIA do. They set the stage for this type of shit to take place. They put a cup of milk on the table and they put a cup of orange juice on the table. A lot of niggas drank the milk and a lot of niggas took the orange juice. But we need those people who are able to think outside of the box to say, hey, man, I think water would be a healthier choice. They making us like the shit that's hurting us. They ain't out here lynching niggas and shit no more. They got niggas out here lynching niggas. What the fuck you think the black boule is? Slave catchers. If they make us like the food, all they gotta do is give us food stamps to buy the food with while they put the poison in the shit. So now we feed ourselves the poison. Niggas act like they don't get that shit. Cause everybody think it's about what they reading. Nigga, fuck reading. Can you comprehend this shit? Cause a baby ain't gotta say a word to me for me to know what the fuck the baby trying to say. Playing word games and semantics with some grown ass niggas when a baby ain't gotta say shit to me. Quit talking to me, nigga. Let me talk to the fucking baby and he can't even talk cause I'm tired of you niggas. How about that? I said, quit talking to me, nigga, and let me talk to the fucking baby, because the baby can't even talk because I'm tired of you niggas. When we can start comprehending shit and get for real about shit, then we'll get some real results. But until then, we gonna stay stuck. Until then, getting on this motherfucking platform and talking gonna be just like some little kids playing the video game. What is it all for? Putting some shit together with a nigga that I can't even get no understanding with. So at the end of the day, we could just say chunk it up and say fuck it. That's time wasting. We running out of time. These people are spitting shit to us in metaphors when they talking about 3-eye Atlas. They said 3-eye Atlas was offset by Jupiter. What is Jupiter? The god of the sky. Who is the god of the sky? The all-seeing eye. What's the all-seeing eye represent? The New World Order. That's why the eye is inside of the pyramid. See, we saying three-eye Atlas is the third eye man. If the third eye man multiplied, then it'll be a third eye land, an atlas, a landmass. The whole landmass will turn into the three-eye Atlas. The veil will be lifted. Everybody will be able to see. We're in a time of what's called revelation. But see, the powers that be, who represent the all-seeing eye, are offsetting. They said three-eye Atlas was supposed to be coming at full speed ahead, but it was offset by Jupiter. And if you can't interpret that shit, then you ain't fit to be telling nobody nothing. When you talking to people, you responsible for people. I'm not gonna drive us down the dead end for us to run out of gas, and then when we run out of gas and end up on the side of the road, say, "Hey man, fuck it, man. We was just taking a ride anyway, man. We was just trying something different." We should be tired of this shit. We've been doing that shit over and over and over again since the 60s. Wasn't these people still doing shit before we was even had the rights to vote? So what are we talking about? Now we gonna make our own motherfucking bird. And it's already set up for us to make our own bird. Shout out to my brother JJ, salute. Yeah, man, and I'm just here to make y'all think. And we gotta think logically. We gotta evaluate this shit mentally, physically, and spiritually. I'm not jumping on no bandwagon or nothing that don't make sense. If I'm asking you to explain some shit and you can't explain some shit in totality, or if you ain't for sure about this shit yourself, man, I ain't gonna take you on no bogus mission. In the hood, we call this shit being on the bowl. Bro, you on the bowl, bro. Why you got me on the bowl, man? That's a bogus mission. We running out of time. We ain't got time to be trying shit. We can't be looking for no savior. This shit turned into a new religion. I be telling a lot of niggas, man, go back to church, man, because you just creating another Jesus, man. They just made a new one, man. You fucking around, you bullshitting. These people want to mind fuck us. As long as they keep us mind fucked and confused, then that buy them more time for them to present their plans. As long as we bickering and arguing about Pan-African, FBA, Democrat, Republican, they still putting plans together, moving forward with their agenda. They only got one agenda. That's for New World Order. Laws and shit is getting passed to where even if you didn't go get a fucking shot, you're gonna fuck around, eat some chicken with the vaccine in that motherfucker. Because why? They 3D print chicken and shit now. Come on, man. This shit ain't rocket science. It don't take a rocket scientist to figure this shit out. I gotta give a lot of niggas the benefit of the doubt. But we gotta be able to have discernment. We gotta be able to discern organizing, leadership. We gotta know that we gotta have comprehension skills. We gotta know that we can't fight this beast on his own court. So why the fuck will we try to form a political system to try to get in the ring to fight a beast that we ain't no match for? And if we had a nigga who was already in the ring and who already was damn near about to put the beast in a move, why won't we ride with Ice Cube? Please don't say Ice Cube part of this shit. Nigga, Tariq Nasheed's a Kappa. Tariq Nasheed OTO too. I can't prove Ice Cube in no secret order. I can prove this nigga is. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Now we will be back tomorrow. I think I dropped the link, but I couldn't see the chat in the beginning. But tomorrow we gonna come back with the Black Culture Code. It's gonna be a fire build. I'll go a little bit more in depth. It's gonna tie in too to what we're talking about because the battle of Armageddon, like I said, man, the battle of Armageddon is happening in the minds of men for the hearts of men. When they speak about the wars in the heavens, it's the wars in the mind. They're giving us all this physical liberation and physical freedom while conquering the mind. You're taking our eye off the ball, that ball in your head, that ball, the light inside your head. You're taking your eyes off the third eye. That shit's being able to be manipulated. Niggas think, oh, I got money and this and that. All while your freedom's being taken away from you. You getting more and more food, more and more money. But that ain't what they don't want that. Of course, they gonna give you what they don't want, what they don't need. This shit is a game. This shit is a game, man. And until we able to see that this shit is a game, we gotta stop playing. When somebody cheating you, you already been cheated. That's why the reparations talk came up in the first place. Because wait a minute, we gotta stop the game and we gotta set shit straight. Until the game is stopped and everything is set straight, how are we gonna continue to move forward? Why haven't you gotten up and kicked the fucking table over yet? You still sitting there playing with a nigga who been cheating you and whooping your ass all game, and you think you gonna catch up. See, they done made us fall in love with being on the bottom, the underdog. It give a nigga some type of thrill to be the underdog. I got it out the mud type of mentality, bullshit. And that ain't right. That ain't fair. That ain't how things supposed to go. The playing fields ain't level. So we either gonna level the playing fields or we gonna stop playing. You don't gotta join shit to recognize that this motherfucking game ain't for us. If they really fucking with real numbers, if people just stop voting and quit fucking around with this shit, and after 2020, niggas should have knew. But after this year, the games they playing, if a nigga don't know after that, then I don't know what to tell them. Trump done played the savior game with niggas. And niggas forget so motherfucking fast. They did the numbers on what niggas went and spent their fucking food stamps on after they threatened a nigga for a whole month with the food stamps, then gave them to us, then people fucked them off, still went sold them, did a whole bunch of dumb shit with the food stamps. Now they threatening to take them again. You see the games that's being played? They tell stories about this type of shit as kids, and we supposed to be grown people, and we can't comprehend these stories. It's the donkey trying to catch the carrot. He don't know the carrot is on a fucking stick on his back with a string that's in front of his face. He ain't gonna never catch up to that motherfucker. That's the concept of the black wolf licking the blade. You licking a fucking sword and you slicing your tongue, you bleeding out, but you just drinking enough of your own blood just to keep you alive. Ain't that something? Shout out to everybody, man. Much love and respect. If ain't nobody told y'all I love you, they love y'all, I love y'all, man. I appreciate everybody for y'all support. Man, make sure y'all hit the Cash App, support the stream. Make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all share the video. And like I said, we will be back tomorrow. Salutes to everybody. Much love and respect. Peace and power, man. Till next time, I'll see y'all in a minute. Peace.